Hey everybody, just doing a quick review of a Gray Nicolls Powercurve 1200. It says mid-profile, I'd say mid-high, grade 1 English willow cricket bat. This is the Australian version. Knocked in one of these before, which was about a 211 one. It was an 800 series. This is the 1200 one, and I think there's a higher grade than this. This is supposed to be grade 1 English willow. Gray Nicolls basically owns the whole process from the wood production to making the bats. So they can grade this however they want, but a lot of willow merchants wouldn't grade this as a 1 due to the fact it's got blemishes in the playing surface area. This would probably be downgraded to a 2. The actual evenness of the grains is really good. They're not dead straight. These ones wave off a little bit, but they're pretty good, and they're straight through the toe, which you can see by the way this grain here is, and this one here. So if I was to take that toe guard off, you'd see those grains running pretty much straight through the toe. So it's a good performing bat normally, you'd think, based on those characteristics. These blemishes don't really do anything. Pin knots might add a little bit of strength down near the toe. Other types of blemishes can do that too. These particular ones here, I mean, they're just really appearance. So what else? It says mid-profile bat, so if I pan that out. But the way that the spine curves, you could say that could extend to mid-high. Mid to mid-high, so interesting sort of profile with the spine running, blending in probably 2 inches from the toe. Fairly full profile, as you can see there. Probably only a millimetre of concaving. This comes out to be, after knocking 35mm edge, I think it was 37 before. Fairly substantial toe. 26. Put that in camera. 26mm toe, and that 21.5. The Powercurve, because it's got a 6mm camber on the actual face. I don't know whether you can see that. It's been knocked in now, so that probably be a bit flatter. Is there any bow in the bat? Minimal bow, you could say. Just probably the pressing bow. When knocking it in, it's really evident just how firm it is here, and a little bit softer down there. Generally, if you have a bat that's more bowed, you can have inconsistencies in the press. It just means a little bit more knocking. It's not a bad thing. Round toe featured. The spine travels up into the handle, semi-oval handle, and still semi-oval at the top. This would be the type of bat that I would normally go for, and particularly in this weight. So that's 291, which would probably be around my weight, maybe a little bit lighter. As far as pickup goes, this isn't really a light pickup bat. I would say it's an even pickup. It picks up its weight. For me, it feels 2.9, maybe a little bit lighter, but I think that's just to do with the handles they use. Maybe these are much lighter handles. Nothing an extra grip wouldn't fix. So we'll tap it up. So I've prepared this for playing in the nets. So basically you've got a hitting area from here to about there, and it's still fairly good out here because of that fuller shape. So quite a large size hitting area, benefited by that lack of concaving there, and that high spine and fairly generous edges that run for a fair distance of the blade. So it's a good a sort of all-round bat, I would say. Not just for somebody in the top order, but if you're looking for a bat that you can play in the middle order, this would be a good profile, I would say. So slightly different camera phone to what I normally use, because I left mine at work. So I'm using a two-piece. It's probably 50, 60 overs old. So this sort of press by Grey Nicolls probably needs a lot more playing in, and then it will come to life. Yeah, not a bad bat. It's not their top of the line bat, remember, but it's not performing at its peak at the moment. It's going to take a while to play in this one. So there you have it. That's the Grey Nicolls Omega Powercurve 1200 mid profile.